May the peace, mercy, and blessings of God be upon you. Welcome to your channel, Al Hikayah. It is a channel specialized in stories that aim to comply with Islamic values and qualities. Let us follow our story today.
All right, let's talk about something that gets to every single one of us, the past. You know, it can be a source of some of our best memories, but let's be real. It can also feel like this incredibly heavy weight we're just dragging around everywhere we go. So the big question is, how do we finally put that weight down? Let's get into it.
I mean, just take a second and really think about that. Do you ever catch yourself replaying old mistakes over and over and over again in your head? Or just obsessing over the chances you didn't take, the things you wish you'd said? That feeling, that sense of being stuck, that's exactly what we're going to unpack today. You know, we all talk about carrying baggage, but I think it's even deeper than that. Honestly, when we're trapped by the past, it really does feel like being in a prison. You can't fully experience today because you're still locked up in yesterday. But here's the good news. Every prison has keys. And today, we're going to find them.
So let's start by taking a closer look at this prison. What does it actually mean to be trapped by past time? You see, there's a huge difference between remembering something that happened and constantly reliving it. And that distinction, well, that's everything.
Okay, this is a really critical idea to grasp. The painful thing, whatever it was, it happened. That's a fact. It's in the past. But the suffering, the pain we feel right now, today, that comes from our attachment to it. We keep that memory alive, renting it space in our minds. And that is the part we can actually control.
So if we're in a prison, well, who are the guards? Who's keeping us locked in? They actually have two very familiar names, regret and guilt. Let's look at how these two work together to keep us trapped.
Okay, think of your daily energy like your phone's battery. It starts at 100%. Well, every single moment you spend thinking about a past you can't change, that's like a background app that's just draining your power, bit by bit. Regret literally steals the energy you need for today to power a yesterday that's already gone. And then you've got its partner in crime, guilt. At its core, guilt is just a form of self-punishment. But here's the thing you have to realize. You are punishing the person you are now for something the person you were then did. You've learned since then. You've grown. You are not the same person, so why are you still serving their sentence?
So, what if we just flipped the script? Instead of seeing these moments as failures or mistakes, what if we saw them for what they really are? Lessons. Yeah, they might have been hard lessons, even painful ones, but they were a necessary part of your life's curriculum. Every stumble taught you something new about how to stand tall.
Okay, so we understand the prison, we've been introduced to the guards, now we get to the most important part, the escape plan. It is time to talk about the keys that will unlock those doors for good. Believe it or not, our freedom really comes down to these two powerful ideas, acceptance and forgiveness. They sound simple, I know, but when you actually put them into practice, they can change everything. So let's break down what they really mean. First up, acceptance. Now, let's be really clear. Acceptance is not the same as approval. It doesn't mean you have to like what happened. It just means you stop fighting reality. You look at the past and you simply say, yes, that happened. And then you let go of the harsh judgment. You see it for what it is, one chapter in a much bigger book, your life. And acceptance paves the way for forgiveness. And listen, this is so important. Forgiveness is almost always an act for you. It's not about letting someone else off the hook. It's about letting yourself off the hook. It's about finally cutting the emotional rope of anger or sadness that keeps you chained to that moment in time. Because when you finally accept and forgive, you get to reclaim all that energy, all that focus. You bring it back from the past and put it where it belongs, the only place you have any real power, right here in this very moment. This is where your life is actually happening. So, what does life actually look like once you use those keys? What happens when you step outside those prison walls and into the open air? Let's talk about what building a future looks like from this new place of freedom. This right here, this is the fundamental shift. This is the whole game. The past stops being a life sentence you feel like you have to serve forever. Instead, it becomes a library of lessons, a source of wisdom. It's no longer a dead end. It's the starting point for who you're becoming next. This is the question that changes everything. Seriously, stop asking, why did that happen to me? And start asking, okay, what did I learn from that? And how can I use it to be stronger today?
When you do that, you turn painful memories into strength. You turn all that heavy baggage into fuel. And that's really the bottom line. Your story isn't over. Not by a long shot. The past might be written down, sure, but the future? That's a blank page. And every single morning, you get to be the one holding the pen. The life you want is being built choice by choice right now.
So let's just end with this powerful thought. The past is a ghost. It only has the power you choose to give it. Your future is full of light and possibility. So the choice, as always, is yours. Are you going to let a shadow define your path? Or are you going to step into the light